Hey, what's up, folks? How's it going? It's your favorite sorcerer. Um, on the 25th of July, 2025. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about psychic attacks. And I want to invite you today, on the 25th of July at 2 p.m. PST, to a free webinar on psychic protection. Okay. So, when people talk about psychic protection, they usually think about that in the context of having been cursed or being actually actively attacked psychically. But things like that, where people are actually psychically intentionally attacking you or actually cursing you or something like that, that's very, very few cases in a sense, where that's a small percentage of what you need actually psychic protection from. I'm going to give you one of the very, very common experiences that people have that are actually energetic phenomena where people would actually require psychic protection but just don't have it. So what am I talking about here? The world is filled with spirits. Okay, when we're talking about spirits, we're not just talking about something that you would call up in a ritual or work with in the context of ceremonial magic, such as demons, angels, planetary intelligences, and so on and so forth. The world is literally filled with invisible entities that are not vibrating at the spectrum of visible light, but are just as much part of nature as you are, or just as much part of this world as you are. And to a lot of those see you as a food source. And they don't necessarily interact with your physical body, they interact with your energy body. Okay. But a lot of those, there are gnomes, there are like many entities that take on the form of different types of animals, different types of people. Vampires are actually real creatures. They're just not part of the visible spectrum of light, but they exist, yes. Werewolves are real. Yeah. Gnomes, giant, all of these things, dragons, all of this stuff exists. It's just outside of the spectrum of physical matter, but all these things are real. So the bottom line that I'm trying to explain to you is the following thing. People and their energy, to a large extent, is a food source for different types of entities, believe it or not. How do you experience that? I'm going to give you the following example. Let's say you're going about your day and there's a gaze, just a look exchange with somebody. And after that, you feel like a disturbance in your Manipura chakra and your energy. And it's really this churning of energy. Something's going on. You can't get rid of that, And what happens in those moments very, very often is an exchange of a spirit. The spirit changes hosts. So the person was carrying an entity, and that entity was feeding off of him. Okay. During that exchange, the spirit saw a more juicy source of energy in you and changed hosts. Okay, there are a couple of psychic centers that these spirits can use to transfer themselves from you to them and stuff like that. It's usually the gaze is very often that. It's also the ears. That's another psychic portal. Okay. Yes, spirits can travel through sound and songs. Yes, you can actually. A lot of songs are basically just demonic rituals where certain thought forms and spirits are being transmitted or what's the word? Trans is not the word. Not of my universe. No. They're being broadcasted, so to speak. They can jump into different hosts. Yeah, sure. Speech, using certain words, certain sequences of words allows you to transfer spirits into other people. Now, of course, you can combine that if you're a magician and a musician. You would combine demonic songs with demonic lyrics, and through that spread the pandemonium throughout the globe, right? Does that sound like the music industry? Does that sound like rap music. Listen, I'm an 80s baby. I love conscious rap, but most of the stuff out there is obviously trash and all that stuff. I don't even want to go into that, man. The bottom line is this. So this interaction that you have with that person transferred a spirit from them to you, which is basically just a parasite, okay? One form of spirits that are very common that do that are these little, they literally look like even smaller than midgets. They're very, very small, like, I don't know, like let's say 3 feet tall, and they run super fast. And they have to bridge the gap, but they're using an electromagnetic grid, so to speak, and that's why they're very fast. And, you know, the bigger the city, the more dense the population, the easier it is for these to jump host, of course, right? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You experience that very, very often. Most people go through their entire life being in some way or another influenced by spirits like that. And, well, that spirit will stay with you and influence your inner experience and feed off of energy and mess with you. It's not very comfortable. Now, the point is, though, this is to a large extent responsible for people's problems. Now, listen, problems could be psychological, problems could be emotional, problems could be rooted in traumatic experience and so on and so forth. All of that is legit, but there's also a spiritual side, an energetic side to things, okay? So there's a solution to that, of course. And part of psychic self-defense is not just protecting yourself against curses like that. Part of that is, of course, also learning certain techniques on how to handle these little fuckers, which I'm going to introduce you to today at 2 p.m. PST. One thing that's very important is I don't deal with people that are mentally or emotionally unstable, okay? So if you have serious mental issues or emotional problems, don't fucking show up. I'm warning you. Don't come there. I don't want any fucking psychos there. I don't want any freaks there. I don't want any. If you are not a sane individual, meaning you can tell right from wrong, don't fucking show up. And if you don't know what is right versus wrong, definitely don't fucking show up, okay? I'm not your fucking dad, okay? I'm not your daddy. I'm not gonna educate you in the most basic understandings of life, okay? You gotta be a good person. You gotta be a sane individual. If you're able to manage your life, that is a big indicator that you're a sane individual. If you can't stick to a routine, if you can't live a productive life, something's messed up and I don't want to have anything to do with you, okay? Show up if you're actually capable of living a life, and then I can teach you these things. Other than that, if you're unstable already, none of the stuff, first of all, you're not going to be able to use it. Secondly, it's just going to confuse you even more. So if you're an actual psycho, go to my competition, please, okay? Go to to the various channels of magic, demonology, and witchcraft out there where you're going to be led into your own destruction. That's great. Please go to those guys. I'm here for the sane individuals, capable individuals, people who are actually already at a certain level and are here to improve their life even more. Get to the next level, okay? So if you're an actual psycho, stay the fuck away from me, please. Okay? So you're not invited if you're a fucking psychopath or you're actually crazy. If you are a stable individual, you're absolutely welcome to join us on Zoom at 2 p.m. PST today on the 25th of July. You have to be, like I said, a sane individual. You have to be above 18 years old. You have to have your camera on, and you have to use your real name on Zoom. And if I don't like you for any fucking reason, you're off the call, okay? Good. So if you can follow these instructions, you're invited, and you're going to learn a super powerful technique to get rid of this problem once and for all. Turn the tables and empower yourself rather than being food. We're going to flip the food chain so to speak. And there's not going to be a replay. So if you miss it, you've missed it. That's okay with me. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh, by the way, link to join is in the description on this video, of course. Bye-bye.